that was the actual thing about the game. Not only did Brighton keep the ball under pressure at times from Arsenal and pop it through them, when Arsenal were trying to play out, they really asked a lot of Arsenal, Brighton, the way in which they pressed and tried to win the ball at the pitch. They were so aggressive in getting their foot in and moving up the pitch together as one. Their centre-halves pushing in, and Arsenal just couldn't cope, and in the end, they didn't have the energy. I think that was as much about energy, mentality, as it was about quality today for Arsenal. They just lost their legs at the vital moment. And look, City have put them under pressure, but City were always going to squeeze them. And that's what happens in every title race. You never win your first title easy. It may have happened, but you just don't. It's a struggle. It's a massive struggle. And you need vast experience to come through that. I always wondered whether Arsenal had the experience. I always doubted.
Well, you've said in every podcast we've done, you doubted them. Yeah.
I always doubted their experience to cope at the end when their young players would feel the pressure. And I think, to be fair, we've seen Gabriel, Partey, and a couple of others, Xhaka, have their weakest time of the season.
Bukayo Saka's had a bad run as well.
Yeah, I think they've lost their form, and the experienced players have not been able to settle the younger players who I think inevitably were always going to struggle in this period through pressure. The experienced players have just not been quite there for them. I've repeated it for 25 years. The class of 92 did not win that first league because of the class of 92. We won it because of Roy Keane, because of Steve Bruce, because of Gary Pallister, because of Eric Cantona, and because of Peter Schmeichel. We had a spine running through that team that was absolutely rock solid. They were like brick. You couldn't break them. They were unbelievable. And around them, you had Beckham, Scholes, Phil Neville, Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs. You had lots of young Nicky Butt. You had lots of young players scattered around them. And we were finding it tough. We were finding it really tough. Our legs started to go a little bit. You're under pressure a little bit because you think, reading the media, Sky Sports are doing promos every single 10 seconds saying title race is on, the running's coming, watch the big Super Sunday. And you're thinking, that's us. And you can't get away from it. It consumes you like you wouldn't believe. And these Arsenal players are walking down the street and every Arsenal fan saying to them, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And that just hits you like a ton of bricks. And you experienced players just stay still. They stay calm. They settle everything down. They make sure they get you through difficult moments. And that's what I always doubted. The Arsenal spine has wobbled at the most difficult time. They were never capable, in my mind, of holding it together. But that's not to say they can't in the future. They can. You can develop that experience. You can add a couple of players to it. And Mikel Arteta's a young manager as well. So all's not sort of lost here. I did think it was a really good day for them last week at Newcastle, where I thought that they really did show some signs of improving. But today I think the hammer blow of the City victory has just hit them, aligned with the most sensational away performance from Brighton.